Hi everyone. Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For the sake of this video, we're going to be discussing the 1959 Oscar-winning film Ben-Hur, starring Charlton Heston in one of his famous roles. Of course, this movie for a long time held the record for the most Oscar wins with 11, which has been since then has been tied by two films, Titanic, which came out in 1987, but the Oscars was in '98. And the other one was, of course, the 2003 film Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, was tied with 11. But unlike Ben-Hur, Titanic and Lord of the Rings: Return of the King didn't win any Oscars for acting. Ben-Hur did, with Charlton Heston for Best Actor. But she should have gone for Ten Commandments, but he got it for Ben-Hur instead. Of course, the plot for Ben-Hur is that Charlton Heston plays a character named Judah Ben-Hur, who is Jewish in Roman-occupied Jerusalem, who was pretty much forced into slavery because he didn't want to help out his old childhood friend on snitching on his people. So he was sent to prison. He was a slave for about 3 years or so. He comes back and he challenges his old friend to a chariot race. It was a big chariot race, and which is the most famous scene in the film. Which it doesn't have to more than almost 2.5 hours into this movie, when you had the famous chariot race scene, which was kind of copied in episode 1, The Phantom Menace, in the Star Wars series. So you had the famous scene where, and his friend, when Ben-Hur went to get his revenge on, gets stampled to death by one of the horses. So even though technically he had his freedom, he still wanted to fight the Roman government. But while all this stuff was going on, there was a young Jew named Jesus that was born, and that's how the movie actually opens, with the birth of Jesus, and then you see Jesus running around. You never saw his face. You never saw Jesus' face. He was mostly shot from the back, except for the one scene where he was carrying the cross and he falls down. You see him, you really top of his head and his hair covering his face. So you never really saw Jesus' face. Through the whole movie, it's implied, but you never saw his face in the film at all. And of course, at the end, the film ends with with Jesus' crucifixion. And Ben-Hur watching it and got renewed faith and from Christ and from Jesus Christ and all that stuff. And that's pretty much what the movie is. And they made this a Christmas movie because, or TCM aired it as a Christmas film because of all that stuff. But Ben-Hur, you always used to see around Easter time, not Christmas time, because they had the crucifixion in it, sequence at the end of the film. But as a film itself, I think it was way too long. It was too dragged out, too padded out. The chariot scene went way too long, even though it's the most famous sequence in the film, and the one sequence that most people know Ben-Hur from is that sequence. That went way too long. But I'm not saying it's not a bad film. How can you say it's not a bad film? It won the Oscar for Best Picture for 1959, won 11 Oscars for crying out loud. But I feel that it's one of the longest movies to win it for Best Picture. It was 3 hours or 45-minute film, or 3 hours or 50, almost a 4-hour film, and I can't find that many movies is that long that won the Oscar. So for maybe Gone with the Wind is maybe the closest in terms of length and time. Of course, Charlton Heston get a great performance, kind of subdued compared to him in the Ten Commandments and in El Cid. He gave better performances in those two films than in Ben-Hur. I feel that way. But Ben-Hur is definitely one of the classic movies of all time, one of the greatest films, greatest spectacles. It's not, like I said earlier, it's not a bad film. I mean, I could sit there and watch it, but it's. I am a Charlton Heston fan, but I'd rather watch him in Ten Commandments, or maybe even, to a lesser extent, El Cid. But Ben-Hur, I felt Ben-Hur was way too long. I feel that way. I'm not knocking the movie, but I felt it was way too long. I felt that many scenes were too padded out, stretched out too long, and but I do like the movie, and especially if you have to be a movie buff like I kind of like a movie buff. So I suggest you check out Ben-Hur. So that's my review of Ben-Hur. Please check out the video, please rate it. Please subscribe to my channel, please forward this video on your Facebook pages. You check out all my reviews on my YouTube channel at rallyc.com, so WDY, and then C.com. There's a homepage of Rally Reviewer, Chris Lee Moore, and please check out all of his videos on this website. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.